After the 2020 pandemic, the world is gradually returning to normal. Yet the world around us is in a state that can only be described as chaos, with soaring food, fuel and interest costs, and a looming global conflict. In this day and age, the typical American is struggling to make ends meet. The typical American struggles to keep their heads above their heads and is constantly worried about not having enough money for groceries. Where is the next from? We saw a significant increase in foreclosures, a drop in the stock market, the housing market, and cryptocurrencies. This makes people feel helpless and fearful. One would assume that in such a world, people would come together and form connections that would make life a little easier. But instead, we noticed a more pronounced gender gap. Men go their own way, women beg on the streets, and many more women market themselves online. As the relationship continues to deteriorate, we are looking at the exact opposite of how things should be. It definitely sounds bad. Imagine a world where ordinary men can't find ordinary women, and instead of working together to get through the difficult times ahead, they self-destruct. What a wonderful world would it be if people chose to suffer themselves to do terrible things? But hold on. We already live here. We don't have to imagine that we live in it. This is the real situation in the world. In today's environment, relationships are like fathers. While it would be nice to have one, it doesn't seem necessary. As a result, we are seeing a reduction in the number of long-term relationships that both parties are happy to have. Relationships are seen by others as a serious joke these days. A joke you see that is great in the moment, but over time, it becomes meaningless and forgotten. Like some of you were in previous relationships. Your ex was funny back then, but where is she now? Some of you don't even remember your ex's name or face. It's so scary right now. I say this to introduce the idea. When will you realize that most of your relationships are complete failures? I can't say that some people are successful. Most of you are lost in dating. Given your track record of success with women and the fact that a relationship requires two people to work together, many of you shouldn't even consider dating one person. Not to mention that in today's market, it's simply not worth bothering with. Let's take a look at how contemporary women view romantic relationships. Modern women have become the most unfit for partners in American history, if not the entire planet, because of their meanness. I don't think I've heard from a woman in the last 2 years that I can't wait to find a husband and start a family with him. I swear to you, I didn't do that. But I've heard that a woman doesn't need a man. She thinks she's independent. Being with a modern woman means she'll just bring a delicious water bowl, so don't expect anything else. Man ruined. This is probably some of the crap you hear from modern women. I was too young to settle down and get married. I'm strong, independent, I don't need a man. I'm living my best life and the list goes on. Why on earth should I fall in love when I'm never enough? She didn't give me anything that I valued. I have observed that modern women have no problem reporting to their small positions and serving their bosses. But when I asked for a sandwich, she acted like I asked her to bring me one of her kidneys. I'm not kidding. What hope do we have? The reality is that most of us are just fighting for a lost victory from the start. If we're in a relationship with a woman until one or both of us die, it's almost impossible to be with a woman who won't cheat or cheat on us from the start of the relationship. Not to mention all the approaches modern women are taking now. I mean women who are being exploited for their own benefit. If any of you are interested in learning more about the unethical practices of monetizing women, check out the Search Protocol. You will be amazed at what you find there, also because of you. I can't say much, but let me put it this way. Suppose you have a niece who is currently in college. With her heavy student loan debt and high cost of living, she found it difficult to make ends meet. Instead of looking for a part-time job, she decided to sign up on a dating site to arrange it. Well, notice that when she needed the money, she didn't get a job. She got a dating service. I want you to add up the numbers and see what the dark side is. That is against you. This is how women benefit today. Don't get me started talking about people selling money online. It's 2022. I don't want to hear no, not me. The women on these sites will be the future spouses of your children and some of you. Given that some of you may be starting new partnerships soon, not me. This is not a problem for me. I go my own way. You are free to do whatever you want. Accepting this message is open to all. My job is to give you the knowledge you need to make the widest selection of choices when dating a woman. But note that women are increasingly choosing wealthy men over men who are financially equal to or below them. In my opinion, carrier play destroys relationships. For those of you who don't know what a pet cage is, it's just a rooster carousel. You know how hard it is to find a woman on the street who isn't promiscuous or has more bodies than a morgue. This generation of women no longer values or cares about virtue. It seems like they're vying to distribute the most salami on these streets. Let's face it, 90% of women today support the streets. In today's busy market, it's rare for a truly decent person to eat a delicious water sausage. However, I saw her with Tyrone and Chad. I watched her with the man who often broke her heart. I watched her with that so-called violent liar. Guess who I watch her with? That broke guy is collecting dust. I can't imagine her with decent men. For this reason, it's not worth it. Guys, don't think about it. Just focus on you. I can safely say that 99% of relationships fail based on what I've seen and the experiences of others around me. Yes, you heard it right. 99% of relationships end in divorce. Since many of you don't believe me after making this bold statement, I'm going to show you how almost all relationships fail. I want you to get a book or some paper and a pen. Then jot down all the names of people you've slept with or had sex with in your life. When you've written all the names, add up all the names on the page and write the result. Then create a table with 2 columns and write the number of current partners on the second column and the number of previous partners on the first column. The last level is below the column listing the total number of past affiliations. Write your current membership number in the second column labeled Current Membership. For most people, you should notice that you have a relationship with 1 or 0 people, whereas in all your previous relationships you had only 1 or 0, which is a 100% or 99% failure rate. Isn't that sad? When the odds are 1% or less that you're in a stable, committed, long-term relationship, you've been through all this pain and bullshit just to be alone or with someone. I think we can give up. To give you the icing on the cake, let's quickly check out a Reddit story. After that, I'll list 3 heartbreaking reasons why 99% of relationships fail. I'm afraid. We were moving into a dead bedroom, and my husband read the title of this Reddit story when we got married. I realized what I was getting into and found out that his other incredible qualities outweigh the horrible sex. Guys, she seems to accept this man. She seems to be approaching the age when ladies are becoming more proactive in getting married and putting rings on their fingers. Only this man would agree to her. God has mercy on his soul. The marriage will end in 5 years or less. If he knew she was saying his words behind his back for the whole world to see. If only he knew he had made one of the biggest mistakes of his life. Now that we've been married for 5 years, it's getting harder and harder for me to have fun in the bedroom. No libido issues. I really want good sex, but I can't bring myself to say yes at 11 p.m. When he turns around and grabs a chest after splashing someone, she was now beginning to notice the flaws he had overlooked in order to get his promise. But now that she knew she had him and he didn't leave suddenly, it was a problem. Every action he takes creates problems. I like to call this sleeping with the enemy. I think he just came to pay the bill. The longer the connection lasted, the less fresh water he got. She has no love for this man. My bank account is drier than your heart. It's so bad this guy now because he still has something to contribute, but she's not obligated or interested in giving him what he agreed on the dotted line. We continue. One of the problems was his lack of effort to seduce. However, when I expressed that I wanted more romance, he claimed he was trying but didn't know how. His loud farts annoyed me and let me down. She wanted the long, passionate stroking Chad had given her. But this guy isn't Chad, and he doesn't seem to have much experience in the bedroom. Also, according to her, he might not be good in bed. Honestly, most men are terrible in bed. So I have to condemn men who think that just giving their wives or girlfriends a 5-stroke special is enough. Do not. If you want to please a woman even out of reach, you need to act in the short and long term. The growl-snoring game will fail. If you don't improve, women will complain about how bad you are in bed, with friends and online. So if you want to repeat business, you should blast your back. Oh, by the way, if you don't give your girlfriend a happy end, file for divorce or end your relationship now. Because the other guy's salami may be bigger than yours, and it's sure to make her break out and get the sheets wet. We continue. Am I being too presumptuous? How can I explain to him that his behavior is inappropriate? I told him over and over that sex was important, like pushing his big thing into my bum when I invited him to make out. Getting through this will be a challenge. It seemed easy to me, but I think he was frustrated because he couldn't be who he really was. Is it right? Anyone who wants this marriage to end in divorce says I do. I know what my answer is: male. These are things that spouses go through. Don't admit it, and pretend everything is fine. It's entirely up to you to take risks. In my opinion, no way. Marriage is a big no-no. Let's explore 3 reasons why collaborations fail. The first reason is that women don't care about you. Everything revolves around her. Gone are the days of wives trying to please and serve their husbands. Remember, those times are over. Today's relationship starts with this thought: what can you do for me? For a man, they don't want to wash, cook, or clean. Stay calm, obey, and take care of the family. In fact, most women enter relationships either out of boredom or to manipulate most men. If you can't find anything of value in a relationship with a modern woman, you know what to do. Are you asking yourself, what do I have to do with a modern woman? Second, there are too many red flags in ex-partners in modern women. As a man, I don't want to know that the woman I'm about to have sex with has had 100 contacts with men. Oh, no way. What exactly will I receive? If a lot of men can get you for little or nothing, I won't take this offer. Second, there are too many red flags in ex-partners in modern women. As a man, I don't want to know that the woman I'm about to have sex with has had 100 contacts with men. Oh, no way. What exactly will I receive? If a lot of men can get you for little or nothing, I won't take this offer. Not only that, but some also obliterate unborn children, engage in activities involving the opposite sex, and sell themselves for money. No, if this is the best you can find here, go to Mars. The planet is doomed. If you don't mind, that's fine. But I know most men don't want that. Therefore, some people choose not to participate in the competition. Sorry, this is just a game. That's it. Men's inability to find the woman they want is the ultimate cause of relationship failure. Ordinary men cannot meet the demands of modern women because their standards are too high. Most men are just tired of being expected to give them everything when they can't always get what they want from them. So is it surprising that relationships no longer work? This is all done. No one can fully meet another's needs and expectations, and women are not willing to accommodate men. When one or both people in a relationship have unrealistic expectations and their wants and needs are not being met, let it burn, in my opinion. Let's watch contemporary relationships come to nothing. We will be here together, each of us doing our own thing and living our own life.